Hello, and welcome back to Let's Play Arcanum. Mr. Drake has learned about the location of the elven city of Kintara, but before he sets out for there, he'll have a look around the rest of the village of Stillwater to see what sort of trouble he can get into. So he'll head into this small, cozy-looking shack and have a chat with the halfling inside. Good day to you. I hope I can be of some small service to you. Greetings, good halfling. Might I have your name? I am Gildor Nightwalk. Who are you? My name is Robert Drake. Well, what is it, Robert Drake? Do you have any work for me? Work, eh? I don't think you're up to the task I would have you do. It's no simple one, and will require great stealth to complete. You don't have the look of a thief about you. You're correct, sir. My skills do not lie in that area. Then giving you this particular task would most likely kill you, something I'm quite sure you would not appreciate. Heh. I'm sorry, but I don't have anything for you. Good day, Robert Drake. Wait, tell me of the task, and let me judge my own capabilities. Oh, very well. I'm going to tell you a story. The tale will give you greater insight into the task you're going to attempt, so please be patient and listen. Proceed, I'm listening. As a youth, I was pressed into service by a group of travelers. They were a rowdy, barbarous lot seeking to gain great wealth and reputation while adventuring throughout the land. I found my place among them, for at times stealth was called for, and this was my greatest ability. Go on. As time progressed, I proved to them that I was no mere impressed servant, and became a valued member of the group. We adventured together for several years, following old tales and discovering lost treasures. It was a rich and wild time in my life. Please continue. One fateful day we were lazing about, recovering from our last adventure. We had just cleared out a cavern full of lizard men that had been terrorizing the local community. Deep in the back of the cave, we discovered an unmarked chest, sealed tight. When we collected our fee from the local magistrate, we conveniently failed to mention the chest. Uh-huh. It took Nightfire, the half-breed elven member of the troop, nearly 2 days to spring the lock and open the chest. Since Nightfire was an expert with the lock, there was much anticipation and speculation done over the supposed contents of the box. Go on. Inside the chest, we were disappointed to find only a few coins, some interesting baubles, and a book. As I was the only literate member, I was given the book to review. Here, I still have it. Why don't you read it for yourself? Tell me when you've finished, and I'll continue my tale. I'll do that, Gildor, thank you. And he gives Mr. Drake a copy of a book. This book is just a journal. It's written by a father whose son became lost in the woods, and as the father set out for him, he came upon a clearing, in the middle of which was a circle of stones, each bearing some sort of foreboding arcane inscription, and in the middle of the circle was an altar with a glimmering, beautiful ruby on it. And as the father entered the clearing, the son appeared from the other side and just immediately made a beeline for the ruby. The father, having a really bad feeling about this, shouted for him to stop, but as soon as the son entered the circle of stones, terrible beasts emerged from the ground and killed the son right in front of the father. They didn't notice the father, though, so the father, in horror, was able to escape and wrote his account down to serve as a warning to anyone who might try to retrieve the jewel. So that's basically what the journal says. So, I finished the book, Gildor. Fascinating. Please continue. Yes, where was I? Oh yes, I had just finished reading the book. We quickly reviewed the map drawn inside to determine our distance from the ruby. It was several days' travel from our encampment. Fools that we were, we pulled out at daybreak in search of the gem. Yes? As we neared the locale, it was as the book described. The hairs on our necks raised, and the forest sounds ceased. You could feel the apprehension in the air. Then we came upon the clearing and the ruby. It was amazing. Never have I beheld a more beautiful thing. We were all mesmerized, dreaming of the pleasure we could enjoy once in possession of such a treasure. Uh-huh. 2 of our troop suddenly ran forward to grab the jewel, and all others save me followed, for I never joined in battle, my strength not lying in combat. Wait, I hollered, remember the beast. But it was too late. As 2 men passed the first stone, a hideous creature emerged from the depths. My comrades drew their weapons, but they were clearly outmatched. Oh my, that doesn't sound good.
In horror, I stood there. As the fighting moved about, more beasts materialized to join the fray. I counted 7 of them that dreadful day, one for each of the strange stones that filled the clearing. The death cries of my comrades were quickly silenced, and rather than turning on me as I feared they would, the creatures disappeared back into the depths as the last body fell.
How horrifying for you.
Cautiously I approached the stones, yet dared not pass their mark. As I observed the morbid scene that lay before me, I noticed that there was a warning carved upon each stone. It read, "The great ruby of Kalru is found. Heed this warning ere you move around. He who walks without a sound shall pass the death beneath the ground."
That's ironic.
A sickness grew in me, for I knew had my comrades only waited, they would still be alive, for I had the skill necessary to obtain the ruby. But in the aftermath, as terror shook my bones, I was too shaken from what I had witnessed, and I lacked the confidence to complete the task.
What did you do then?
I fled from the scene of carnage. I wandered aimlessly for a time, before making Stillwater my home. I've never left again. I fear my adventuring days have come to an end. Yet, as the author of the book says, the jewel and the beast still haunt my sleep.
So you never returned there?
I never did. Yet I still desire the great ruby of Kalru. As you've probably surmised, I want you to retrieve the jewel for me. If you can do this, I'll pay you 1,500 coins. A large sum, but I believe the risk demands such a price. What say you? Will you do this task for me?
Alright, Mr. Drake is, he's not especially keen on stealing the ruby for the halfling, but thinking back to the portal that was spilling out demons into the forest near Liam Cameron's shack outside of Blackroot, and also to the problems in the cemetery in Ashbury with the dead rising from the graves, fueled by the gem of Malachi Wrench. Thinking back to those problems, he suspects that some similar sort of magic might be at play here, and he wants to make sure that that's disabled so that it won't be a threat to anyone. And it doesn't really seem to be thievery, because the inscription on the stones seems to be sort of a challenge issued to sort of hardy, adventurous types to see if they can outwit the trap. So he'll go ahead and agree to look into this, but more for wanting to take care of the problem rather than steal the gem. So I'll look into it for you, Gildor.
Very good. Here, let me see your map. I'll show you the location.
Okay, I'll leave immediately, thank you. Alright, and so knowing that there's going to be probably some sort of battle with demonic creatures, he'll get ready for his with his battle attire, and at the press of a button... Now this place is... if he didn't have teleportation, Mr. Drake would have to travel overland through the pass, because this place is north of the mountains and it's all the way up here. But with the magic of teleportation, he's right there. So let's see, I'm going to go ahead and put hasten on him, and also probably shield of protection would be a good idea. Okay. So I'll just follow the path to the circle of stones. And there we go, there's one. And so he'll just run, and immediately 7 demons pop out of the ground. And fortunately, they're not too tough. Yeah, okay, with Shield of Protection up now, he has about 95% damage resistance, so...
Oh, you'll not defeat
and he
anyone
still
like that,
makes
friend.
a critical miss, so that's still embarrassing, but they're not going to be able to hurt him, really. He's probably more likely to injure himself than they are to injure him. Alright, let's get the dog in. The dog will probably one-shot him. Alright, let's see. There we go. Just mop them up. Alright, and what are there? A couple left. Okay, the dog's going to take care of them. Unless Mead Mug does. Okay, and there we go. The threat is ended, and up here we see the altar, and in some sort of basin is the Great Ruby of Kalru. So Mr. Drake will go ahead and take that. And there's the body of apparently a thief who previously tried to steal it. Some pretty nice items. Magic gloves and magic armor. Alright, so we'll give those to, give the armor for Gar to carry, and also the sword. Okay, and actually he wants to equip the sword. Let's see. Alright, so, I'll pause it for a second, and when we return, Mr. Drake will be back at Mr. Nightwalk's, little shack. So, be right back in a second. Alright, and we're back.
I'm ever so fortunate to see you again.
I have the Great Ruby for you, Gildor.
Oh, well done. I've had great hope that you were capable.
It's about time someone was.
Please, let me have it.
Here you go. That was quite the task.
Oh, it's everything I recalled it to be. You are truly a brave soul. Oh yes, forgive my distraction. You are truly a great adventurer. Here's the 1,500 coin I promised. Thank you, Robert Drake. May the gods bless you on your journey.
Thank you, Gildor, and farewell. Alright. So there's one problem solved in Stillwater, and now looking around to find something else to do, well, he might as well ask one of his companions. So let's see what Magnus has to say about Stillwater.
How can I help you?
I've got a few questions, Magnus.
What do you need to know?
What do you know about this place?
This is the town of Stillwater. I know they make fine weapons here, if you're interested in that sort of thing. More than one master sword maker has come out of this small town.
Okay, thanks, Magnus. Sword maker. Well, Mr. Drake has had this filament sword for quite a while, so you could perhaps head over to the blacksmiths and see if there's any better selection of weapons for him. So,
hello, sir. I'm the best shopkeeper in the region.
might I ask who you are, sir?
Oh, I'm Richard Leeks, the blacksmith of Stillwater. How might I be of service?
Greetings, Richard. Might I ask you a few questions?
How can I help you?
Tell me about Stillwater.
Stillwater? No, she's just a small town. Used to be quite a place back when Bates first made his steam engine. People used to think we'd be as big as Toronto. But as you can see, we're just the same old Stillwater. A few stores, a few people. All in all, a pretty quiet little town.
And what is there to see around here?
Oh, not much. We've an inn and a tavern if you're looking for a place to stay. Other than our well-made weapons, I suppose our biggest claim to fame is the Stillwater Giant. Oh, I guess some people find the cult of Geshtiana a bit strange.
What's unique about the weapons made here?
We do a lot of trading with the dwarves. They have the best mithril ore in Arcanum, and it makes well-balanced weapons as well as holding powerful enchantments. My family has been making swords in Stillwater for 400 years. I don't mean to be wordy, son, but if there's anyone in this land who knows more about blacksmithing than I do, I'd be very surprised.
Do you enchant the weapons yourself as well?
No, there's a local wizard in these parts who I use to enchant the weapons. He's a stubborn old codger, but we get along pretty well. Goes by the name of Cyrus. He puts spells on my weapons, and I check in on him from time to time, do some work around his place when he needs it. Come to think of it, what day is it?
It's September 5th.
That's strange. Old Cyrus was supposed to come down here yesterday. I haven't had time to check in on him, and today I'm especially busy with an order from the Caledonian Guard. Sure hope he's doing all right.
Perhaps I could look in on him for you.
Yes, you seem to be a trustworthy type. Would you mind making sure that no harm has come to him? And when you talk with him, tell him I'll be needing his services as soon as possible. This shipment has to go out by the end of the week. If you do this, I think I could find an extra Stillwater blade to pass your way. What say you, friend?
That sounds like a fair trade. I'll do so.
Many thanks to you, stranger. His house is just northwest of here. Just follow the path outside of town. When you've made sure the old wizard is fine, return to me.
I'll do that. Thank you, Richard. Alright. So Mr. Drake is going to head to the northwest of town to check out the wizard's shack, since he seems to be missing. So when we return, he will do so. As always, thank you for watching, and please stay tuned.